are doing this incredible.
Well, there's a myriad of things. I think, first of all, we have to go back to
You're a writer. You are very well known for your teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you.
Miss Nigeria competition.
And I said, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.
If we break our chains, we free ourselves. But if we break our roots, we die. Those are the words of Dr. Vivian Timothy. I would like to begin today's show with that because I know that if we understand our past, it's easy for us to fit into the future and, of course, relax with our present. Now, Dr. Vivian is seated right here with me. She is my guest. It's an exceptional package, as you get to find out as we move on. But for now, let's take a break.
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
Yes. We need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely. If you just joined us, the show is The Woman, and I am Elizabeth Abai. The guests already mentioned earlier on is Dr. Vivian Timothy. Nice to have you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I know I should be saying thank you to a lot of people, but most especially the diaspora community for bringing you to Nigeria.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's
a great honor.
Joy. I know you're the PRO of NIDO, Germany.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and it's umbrellaed by Europe.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, your program this period was well attended, and I'm glad for it.
Yeah.
But I also know that you're having an exhibition here in Nigeria for a time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm having.
Yeah, well, the preparation is going on in my hometown, my village, where my story began. So it's somehow emotional. It's somehow a special one.
Okay. Talking about how your story began, I'm kind of curious. You have won several awards with your paintings. You've done Nigeria proud with your paintings, not just in Germany where you reside, but outside of that, UK, US, and all that. Try to follow up on that. I'd like to know, how did this come up?
I had always known that I am artistically talented, right from the time I was young. But I was not allowed to, because for my parents, it's not a proper profession for a woman. So I really...
You're not allowed?
Yes, because then I think my parents, they meant well too, but they didn't know that we all have this unique talent that was given to us at the point of our incarnation, or God gave us. And I believe strongly they don't also know that in this talent, most of the time lies our power to become success and to control our future. And they kind of missed it. They meant well, so I'm not really annoyed with them. So now I kind of got confused for decades before I later found myself.
Well, maybe sometimes some of those things are structured in that manner, so you get to find out who you really are when you're really, really prepared for it.
Exactly.
Sometimes you take off at that point and you feel like you're starting late, but it's not actually late. That's when destiny wants you to do it.
No, I call myself a light that took decades to shine.
Yeah. All right, a light that took decades to shine. Yeah. That's another creative expression.
Thank you.
All right, I'm kind of curious. There's several of them in the studio.
Yes.
I'll get to talk about your personality, but speak to me. Your artwork is centered a whole lot on the beauty of a woman and Africa and Nigeria as a whole. Any particular reason for that?
I think the women here, where we come from, this part of the world, we've been kind of marginalized. We are not given the power to become economically empowered. We are struggling still through our outdated tradition, outdated culture, and so I think living in Germany now for like 30 years, I saw that it could be different. Something is wrong here. So my painting is about, I am a womanist. I love everything that I
womanist.
have.
I'm hearing
not
that
a
for the first
feminist.
time.
So it's
What's the
it's
difference
very.
between womanist and feminist?
Feminists is more in the negative, they're like the fighting with men, like hey, we are stronger than you, what you guys can do, we can do better, which is true though. But then, as a womanist, I love that I am a woman. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. Everything that has to do with it makes me happy.
I like the way you say it. So much feel with pride.
Thank
I'm
you.
a womanist, yes.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
And because of that, of course, naturally, it comes, the problem that we, the female or the women face in Africa, touches me. And I think as an artist, this is the only way to let out what is not okay in the society.
Okay, now this particular one, I don't know. It's I can't. I see a woman crying.
Yes.
What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, the inspiration actually behind it. Maybe you can also see the map of Africa there.
Okay.
The half of this map of Africa. So actually, I call her Mama Africa. Mama Africa portrays the classical African woman. It also portrays the Mama Africa that has sold herself, that has made herself economically, commercially attractive to the lust of the men of exploitation. And Mama Africa is crying because I think her children are leaving her. So, and she's crying. So the question is, Mama Africa, she's old, she's wrinkled, she's weak. She's been kept in coma for a long time. So, Mama Africa, are you ready to change? Your children are leaving you, and they're dying on their way to their
Those are the children.
These are the
on
children of Mama.
Exodus.
Exactly. So I call it's a series I did on the modern day Exodus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that that's the beauty. I like your piece. Is this the one is called Ifoma?
Yeah, exactly. Sifoma, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
I know I read about it.
Yes, exactly.
This is the former structure
exactly.
or painting rather.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I also know that in your painting, you're more like a writer, but you write with the colors.
Yes.
You've also talked about the, natural resources and exploitation. Talk to us about it.
I think the problem we are facing here, or the whole Africa, is because, like I said, Africa has made herself commercially attractive to the lust of the men of exploitation, and a lot of things are going wrong. And the problem that Africa or Nigeria is facing is because of the exploitation, the balkanization of Africa during the 18th century. And but we have not helped issues either, because we Africans, we are also exploiting ourselves. Yeah, exploitation, and this is the problem. The problem we have is because of the exploitation of our natural resources by the Westerners and by also ourselves, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's the expression I see there.
Yeah, what this is all about, I think when you look at the paint, it's like a crooked. The steps are crooked, the steps are a little bit shaky, it's not strong anymore. And maybe when you look at the background, you see light, this fire, and the water is kind of, has an oil, like an oil film on it. Exactly. So I'm talking about the oil boom that doomed us.
Oh, oil boom that doomed
us, yeah. This is the cause of our problem. It's about, my painting is about like changing the narratives, letting people also know that the system has to change. The problem we are facing in Nigeria is because of, I think, this oil boom that doomed us. And it's time for us to they say freedom is hammered out of the anvil of discussion, debate, deliberation. And I think it's time for us to sit down and talk.
You often remind me of Mr. President's speech when he says diversification, of the economy, moving away from not just the oil, not moving away completely, but moving into other things like agriculture.
Yes.
Does that have a link with, there's another one right at your back?
This actually is also, it's because of Mama Africa crying, the oil boom that made us to start running away from our country, the oil boom that turned our landscape to a volcanic landscape. So the air, the mountains, the environment is shouting, run if you can. There's no hope for you here. So the landscape is just like a volcanic land, so everybody's running away. Yeah.
That's a...
And they're running away, dying in Libya and other places. Organs they are being killed, or organs are being taken. And the ones that managed to escape Libya, they turn to fish food.
Oh no, that's a fish food.
Yeah, exactly. So something has to be done. So I use my paintings to stir people, you know, to let them understand that we had life before oil boom.
Yes. So we should actually go back to that life.
Exactly.
And NACTIP has always stressed the need for us not to, migrate, especially legally, because there's a whole lot to be done here.
Yes.
Now, for the NIDO Germany, of which you are the PRO,
Yes.
what moves are being made, to ensure that Nigerians who are there begin to invest in Nigeria? I see you're doing your art exhibition here.
Yeah.
That will spur up a lot of young people.
Exactly.
What other moves are being done to ensure that the youths who are actually the biggest, immigrants, are encouraged to stay back and get productive?
Yeah, thank God we have a lot of members of NIDO Germany and other countries in Europe. They are really creating their awareness through the media. They are going to schools. They have these foundations, NGOs, and the government, thank God, is really supporting them in doing that. And I really like the movement. And so I'm just doing my bit by using my painting to also say the same thing. And also, it's not just telling like maybe stopping the young ones from moving in. It's also encouraging, creating an enabling environment for the ones outside to come back. And
a lot of times people don't want to come, even though you are coming, and I see a few other people. What inhibits you from coming?
Myself coming to Nigeria.
Yes, to Nigeria.
Because of still what I said, home is always the best. And to go back to where you started, I think is a blessing. It's a blessing. And I'm very sure, honestly, I believe that almost, let me say, 3/4 of the Nigerians outside, they want to come home, even when it doesn't seem like that. But we have to create an enabling environment and encourage them, environment that will encourage them to come, and also use that what they have learned to also help build their own country, because we all want to give back. Nobody wants to stay in Europe or in Germany forever. I want to come. I'm married to a German anyway. And I want to come home with my husband. I want to live here. We tried it, but the security became so bad that we moved back to Germany.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
All right. I know that in the near future that definitely things will settle in with the moves that have been made.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you back to Nigeria to, live here and get to train your children like the Nigerians truly are. But I'm wondering, from your stories you've told me, I see things around you inspire you to paint.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, judging from your story, women are gifted.
Yes.
Women want to do things.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for them to break away from that chain, either cultural or family or marital chain, to get to do things they really want to do.
Yeah.
But you were able to break it, even though, like you said, it took you some decades.
Yes.
What should be the advice for women who are finding it difficult to come off that skin, to remove that chain of spiritual enslavement?
Okay. I think African woman is entrepreneurial already. We have this entrepreneurial, power. And what they need is just a little bit of support from the government too. And sometimes we're afraid of our age. We're like, it's too old, we're too old, we can't make it. But what I'm trying to tell, the advice I'm giving them is that what God has given us, because all of us have this gift, this unique gift. Use it. Go and find it. Dig into it. Bring it out and use it. Do what you can and use what you have. And I think when you do that, the universe will definitely embrace you. But never you say it's too late, because I started very late. And if Vivian Timothy can do it, I think any other woman can.
That's good. That's good. Now, Vivian Timothy is an artist and an entrepreneur and a mother and a wife.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, how do you combine all that together?
Oh, first and
foremost, I know your first child is 18.
Yeah.
That means you've been married for more than 18 years.
I'm married for like 21 years now.
So how do you combine without friction in your family?
At first, like I told you, my son turned 12. At first, I'm this helicopter mothers. I don't know whether you watch them, you're everywhere with them. I was their taxi mama, so I was everywhere. And so I was helping my husband, because he has his company. So it was easy for me to juggle between my family and exactly. And then he turned 12, and then it was like, I'm not satisfied. Something is still missing. So he became independent. He became independent, and there was space. And that space gave me, I was like, something is still missing. I still need to do something. And my husband, and thank God, honestly, I'm privileged. I must say, he's a good chap, very intelligent in school too. So he made it a lot easier for me.
Mr. Timothy is laughing where he is.
Enjoying this exactly. And then my husband supported me. Sometimes there was one time I flew to US. I stayed 2 days in US and I flew to London. But before then, I was like, Shatsi, I can't do it. This is too much for me. And I was going there for exhibitions. That means carrying all these loads to Austin, Texas, and then to the House of Parliament in London. I said, no, Shatsi, this is too much. 2 days here too. And he was like, Shatsi, you can do it. So he gave me the power, the push to say, hey, go out and just go and get it. So he supported me so much, and I think that really made me to come up very fast and exactly.
You mentioned House of Parliament. I quickly recall when you had to do a give back voice for the rural women. You want to share that experience for us?
Yeah, it was Dr. Pauline Long. She had this conference, giving back to the African Women Conference. So the theme was giving back the voice to the rural women. So she invited me because I did series on women, on the strength of the African woman. So I went there to talk about, it was a presentation on the way to strengthen the African women, giving them back. Because then I realized that we had voices. We had voices before the white man came. The white man knew that they couldn't break through women. What happened? We were powerful. We had queens, African queens here. We have a military strategist. We have Queen Amina of Zaria. So women had power then. I remember where I come from in Imo State, the first war, they say women's war in Aba, it was when the white man kind of wanted to tax them, and the women went riot. They fought, so women had power then, but then they knew that they couldn't break through women, so they went through men and kind of took the power away from us. So it's about giving them the power. It's also about remembering our mothers. I mean, the presidents now, or the oil concern, or the CEO of big companies, they have mothers. Sometimes we forget. We just see the president, we just see the governor, we just see, they have mothers. And these are the women
that can be used to
exactly
put positivity in them.
Exactly.
Okay.
They had mothers, or they have mothers. And I want to put a spotlight on these women that made these great men. But they've been forgotten. So it's about getting back our strength, our voices back, giving back the voice to the African women, because we had power.
You remind me of something. I always recall, when my mom was alive, and you get me to do something and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then you talk to my mom, and then she calls me on the phone. We have a fight.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know I'm losing it.
Exactly.
Because I will obey her.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's
very subtle, but very persuasive.
I'm not going to shout. In a very small manner.
Yeah.
I'll be the one doing the shouting. But eventually, she will tell me, are you done?
Yeah.
Please, when you get that job done, let me know. I should drop the
I
phone.
love that. I love that. That's powerful.
So
yes,
that's the strength of a woman.
Yeah.
You know, if the powers or the soul powers learn to recognize the superiority of the strength
Yes.
and the power of the woman,
Exactly.
I think it will be very easy to turn around the world for good, because a woman actually has a way of making the world better.
Exactly.
My director is on my neck, but I can't go without asking a few more questions.
Okay.
Now, how do you unwind? You know, you do your job, you travel all over, and you're still looking very relaxed. What's the secret?
God. Yeah. I am a very spiritual person.
Okay.
I think I can't be here today without him. He made me who I am, and I give him all the glory. So when I want to rewind, I talk to him.
That's a nice one. All right. On a parting note, your philosophy of life, I've seen some of them, but I'd like to share some more with you. What's actually your guiding philosophy of life?
My guiding philosophy of life is, I say that again because it's very powerful. If we break our chains, we free ourselves. But if we break our roots, we die. And it's about, we are changing the narratives. It's about using my pen to change the narratives. It's about decolonization of the mindset because we have to decolonize ourselves. We have to change the narratives. We have to make people understand that we were drinking in River Niger before Mungo Park came. We were exactly Nigeria. We were existing before Lord Logan. So what was our history? That's where I get upset. I want to know where I come from. I want to know how Nigeria was before Mungo Park. Before Mungo Park saw our river for the first time. We were drinking the water. We were drinking this before. We had civilization.
There's something you said, you wrote in one of your work, and I want to say it out loud here. It says that the history of the black people has always been written in the artworks.
Yes.
Because art of a people is the mirror of their mind, and art is the best form of implanting and expressing the deep value that are inherent in black culture.
Yes.
Okay, and of course the black culture inherently means the black people.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful one.
Thank you very much.
That's a very beautiful one. And with the area of work you do, I wish I had opportunity of flying over to Germany just to sit down in your studio.
No, you can come to Imo State.
I will.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you in the studio.
Thank
and
you
when
too.
you go back, do take care. Godspeed as you go.
I will.
And blessings to your family.
Thank you.
Your son.
Thanks for
Any of
having
them
me.
touring after you?
Yeah, my son is quite artistic, but he wants to read medicine. So I'm like, whatever, I'll support you.
That's beautiful.
So of course I will encourage them. And of course I'll tell mothers to encourage their children in whatever they are doing.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
the show is just ending. Much as I like to sit on and have a lovely chat with a woman with a beautiful pen and, of course, her beautiful self, Dr. Vivian Timothy, I'll have to say goodbye. But don't forget, like she says, never break off from your roots. And I want to add to my own extension, family is very important. Please always keep it close to your heart, no matter what happens. Ciao, ciao.
NTA. You can't beat the rich.
Today's growing trend is the beard. This facial hairstyle is common amongst the youth and the middle age all over the world. What is fashionable about the beard?
It's just a personal thing. As you grow up, you continue to find those things that make you look the way you want. Maybe you're copying somebody's your role model, you just want to be like the person. It's just a personal thing. And I'm somebody who don't like shaving. I don't like going to the barbing salon always. So this is the easier way I can stay out going to the barbing salon.
I just woke up one day, just changed my attitude of keeping beards, and I love it.
From the start, I come from who keep beards, so I don't know. Since I'm a fashion designer, I don't have anything to do with fall, so I believe keeping beards is just a lifestyle. It's just a design. It's a thing I like.
Facial hair gives the men the opportunity to express their looks of whom they are and how they want to be perceived by others. This fashion has been a trend for years. Now, see this one. Check the other one out. Beards come in different shapes and lengths. It can depend on one's choice to suit his looks. These days, lovers of fashion and styles are now spotted with different shapes, such as the full beards, strap, goatee, round look, as the list is endless. No wonder that beards remain fashionable for men, inasmuch as it is well cared for by the wearer.
Men are always, I've met a few of my friends who have actually told me, oh, I want to grow beards because that's the in thing now, and they feel it's the new swag. So basically, I think I like guys with beards, but please shave it according to, in a way that will approach you.
I keep beards because one, I've loved keeping beards right from childhood. If I see people that have their beards, how they carve it, keep it clean, I always admire them. Secondly, at least if you can keep it clean, shave it properly, dress it well, it makes you appear neat and decent. Secondly, it gives you a little grading as in aging. When people look at you, kind of, at least you are matured.
If the person shaves the beard well, then it's fine. But if it's big and all, it makes the person look kind of scary sometimes. But then most guys, when their beards are well shaved, then it boosts their confidence.
It also adds beauty to formal and informal dressing of the menfolk in a well-shaved look. Oh yeah! Beards have come to stay. Rock it, guys!
Dab, 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 dab. Yes. One day as I did dab, they go. Now I see my neighbor on top electric pole. Don't be hammer you hold so.
Before. So?
Climb every day. Come on, electric bill. You not gree pay.
Waiting concern you for there. I beg you. Come over here.
Okay, oh. I don't talk my own. As I dab reach house. Yay! Fire! Fire! My brand new flat screen.
Hold up.
Waiting concern you for there. I beg you. Come over here.
Government property, now my property. If you don't come down now, I go report.
Don't be only report. Now report card.
Dab, 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 dab. Yes.